From meetings before the script was even written, to roles assigned to individuals without a day of casting, today we prepared some of the best facts the Yellowstone series has to offer, some of which are expected, but many others that will blow your mind just by seeing them on our list. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Even before the whole series was figured out, creator Sheridan met with Kevin Costner just with the idea about Yellowstone in his mind. The series was meant for an HBO Max screening, however, even after 2 scripts had already been written, the company turned down Sheridan with the explanation that nobody wants to see this. Kelly Reilly was blown away by the first script given to her before taking on the role of Beth, saying that this was the best pilot she has ever seen. Taylor Sheridan wrote the script for the character of Chief Thomas Rainwater with Gil Birmingham in mind, with him being the only one to portray the role. The set decoration that can be seen inside the Dutton family lodge stays that way even if the series is not filming at the time. Before even production of Season 1 of Yellowstone began, 6 or 7 actors were sent on a pack trip for 4 nights and learn how to be cowboys. Most of the times, actors were doing their own stunts, which gave the whole series that special kind of doing stuff. Paramount for the first season of Yellowstone paid Kevin Costner $500 per episode, which is simply wild. Gator, the Dutton's chef in the series, is also the one who runs the craft services, including the supplies of water, food, and snacks the cast and crew use on set. Taylor Sheridan's favorite character to write about was Beth Dutton, simply because she was so unpredictable and you never knew what was coming next. To capture that cowboy's bunkhouse, set director Carla Curry sat down with Forey J. Smith, who plays Lloyd, and asked for his thoughts on the set, one actor who lived that lifestyle for years now. Even before taking on the role of Rourke Morris in the 3rd season, Yellowstone was Josh Holloway's favorite show on TV. Most of the Duttons didn't know who would return for the 4th season of the series, as they were all close to being killed off. The narrative of the show that came up in the 2nd season's finale is the same one that keeps the series alive, as it depicts almost all storylines of the series, said Sheridan. Planned to be a limited 10-episode series, Kevin Costner agreed to continue portraying the role of John Dutton, which sparked life into the series for more than 1 season. From a limited series plan all the way to being one of the biggest cable TV shows on the planet, with 14.7 million people tuning in just for the 2 first episodes of the 4th season in 2021. Rip Wheeler's role was simply given to Cole Hauser, no auditions were held, he was the actor that Sheridan had in mind for the role from day one. The Dutton's lodge scenes and the ranch ones are all filmed at Chief Joseph Ranch in Darby, Montana. More than 70% of the production before Season 4 took place in Utah due to limited tax incentive programs, with the 4th season being filmed solely in Montana. The hardest cowboy training was the rigorous horse riding achievement of the skills, with Beth, played by Kelly Reilly, proving to be the best rider of them all, which is pretty ironic as she rides the least on the show. An epic scene that required Jefferson's skills on a mechanical horse for close-up shots and Jefferson White's stunt double doing the hard work. To give the series a cinematic feel, like it being a very long movie, the cast and crew filmed the whole season of the show as a movie. Despite not being the first to come to mind, Beth Dutton and Monica are probably the toughest and most resilient characters in the series, 2 of which have overcome the most. Kevin Costner and his band have written several songs that were featured in the Yellowstone series so far, with the brand releasing a 2020 album with those songs called Tales from Yellowstone. Forey J. Smith's personal items are all displayed on Lloyd's bunk in the series, from his real-life time at a rodeo and working at a ranch. Sheridan, the creator of the show, can be seen in the series in the role of Travis Wheatley, a horse trader and one of John Dutton's acquaintances. One crew member had the talk with his son, something that resonated with the series in a big way. You can book a vacation at Dutton Ranch, better known as the Chief Joseph Ranch, for $1,200 a night. Beth was the best, but who was the worst horse rider? Well, don't tell on us, but it was Jefferson White who took that status on the pack trip. The 4-6's ranch is a real-life working cattle ranch, the place where Jimmy was sent off in the series. You might recall a character from the Twilight franchise. Well, it's Chief Thomas Rainwater's actor Gil Bingham who played Jacob's dad in that franchise. Actress Kelly Riley, who plays the filthy-mouthed Beth in the series, actually speaks with a posh accent in real life. Luke Grimes, who plays Case Dutton, seems familiar, right? Well, he played Christian Grey's brother Elliot in the 50 Shades of Grey series.
Fair, moral. Those are words men invented to scare.
Ryan Bingham portrays the role of Walker, who always carries his guitar around. Well, it's not a surprise to hear that he's a real-life country singer then, right? Actress Kelsey Asbel, who plays Monica Dutton, one of the best characters in the series, is in fact not a Native American. She's half Asian, half American. The Yellowstone franchise has 2 spin-off shows in the works, 1883, a prequel that will show an origin story of the Duttons, with another one called 6666, and the fans know what that's all about. Josh Lucas, who plays young John Dutton, played Jake in Sweet Home Alabama and together with Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind as Hanson. Harvey Weinstein was the initial producer of the show before some behind-the-scenes drama saw the series move on from him. Sheridan's childhood growing up in Texas and his stay in Wyoming are probably the 2 reasons the show's story has received so much recognition so far. The series used many horses, some of which are even owned by Sheridan himself. The Western Way of Life earned Taylor Sheridan an induction into the Texas Hall of Fame in 2021. The tricky casting of previously mentioned Kelsey Asbel sparked controversy between her and Canadian actor Adam Beach. Kevin Costner's impressive resume was widened with Yellowstone being the first regular TV series of his career. The hashtag #MeToo movement and general societal uprooting of sexual harassment was the reason the Weinstein Company's logo was scrubbed off from the credits. Actual dead bovine usage saw Yellowstone on the headlines at the animal advocacy group. The music used in Yellowstone grew so big it developed its cult following, becoming an attraction for many viewers. Danny Huston, who plays Dan Jenkins, was described by many as a character actor, a title given to people who become one with the virtual role they're playing. Ryan Bingham might be a familiar actor to many, but rarely does his voice get the recognition it needs, as he's also a radio host who performs that good old-fashioned music we all came across in our lives by now. All of the actors learned to ride horses pretty quickly, and it all falls to Jake Ream, the real-life horse wrangler, who taught everything he knows about his passion. Kevin Costner's strong presence and moral compass are 2 of the characteristics that made the character feel so real and complete, which all falls to Costner's previous works in one of the biggest movies of the last 2 decades. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below which of these facts you already knew before watching in video and sounded familiar, and if you could name a few, which facts surprised you the most. But also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.